Hey there folks, and welcome back to the Carpetania Campaign. Last time we did a bunch of domestic stability stuff, making sure that all of our policies were updated to try and push cultural assimilation across the board. We're going to leave that as it is, even though between episodes, maybe because I reloaded the game, our loyalty situation has actually gotten slightly worse. I'm not going to make any more changes because at this point I'm firmly committed to assimilating. Once they assimilate, their happiness should dramatically improve, especially given that we have a big focus throughout the meta of this campaign on boosting integrated culture happiness, so we're going to hope that that doesn't create any problems. I'll keep an eye on it if it does. We also spent a lot of political influence just getting everything set over to cultural assimilation. And I think that that is the right call at this stage. We need to start turning all of these people into Carpetanians, especially because the Carpetanian population is a small minority. Only 1/4 of our nation is of Carpetanian culture, and that's definitely contributing to some of our domestic instability that I spent last episode looking at and contemplating. We also have a couple of prominent, or promising, I should say, new city locations, including Beia Superioris, Ponzorugio, and some place I didn't really mention, Satilikia, which is already a colony. I should emphasize focusing on colonies first, all things considered, which would be Satilikia, Ponzorugio, I think Indibilis, and I think that's all of them that I can think of. Oh, also, Waluka is a colony too. We should probably do some building in Waluka, all things considered. I do have a marketplace here already, so that is a good start. I do have the money to do a building, and I think I might build another marketplace. Honestly, a marketplace in up here, especially now that we've got cultural assimilation going, would improve the assimilation prospects around here. That being said, Toiletem does still have a large number of non-Carpetanians, and it already has other assimilation bonuses, I believe. I may be wrong about this. Possibly not. I'm not seeing anything, but I thought that there was something from one of my decisions that was giving it a bonus. I don't really recall. Also, I should note that I don't think the Codify State Lands decision is available anymore. I don't think I grabbed that when I was able to. Oh well, that's fine. Anyways, I think with the money we have at the moment, I will build a marketplace here, because I don't see any other spot that should be fortified. I guess I could fortify Arcus ahead of this war, because that is right on the front line, but Arcus is not going to remain our provincial capital over here for very long. This is just a temporary situation. Probably the provincial capital will be switched to, let's see here. I have to think about that a bit more. There is a river in the location, but it doesn't quite line up with the ocean within the actual province. We'll decide that after the war, but at least for now, I think what we should do is make a construction. I guess I could save up my money and hope to get enough PI to found a city. I think I'll do that, actually. Let me save my money. Building another marketplace in Toiletem at the moment isn't super critical. We are getting plenty of cultural assimilation. 1.64% per month is pretty good. I'm not sure how much a marketplace would actually improve that, all things considered. Let's see what it says. You go up to 24%. And in terms of what that would actually mean in terms of the timeline, let's see. Not entirely sure, but it would certainly help. Also, the unrest here is slowing stuff down ever so slightly. It's because of these slaves. Not much I can do about that. Slave unhappiness is going to be a permanent feature. Anyways, let's go ahead and resume. Granaries rated. Okay, this is the Granaries rated event, my favorite event in the game, and I'm not kidding about that, because this is one of the few ways to reliably get province loyalty in bulk. What's targeting? Celtiberius Septentrionalis? Well, that's lucky for me, because that is one of my disloyal provinces, or one of my historically disloyal ones. Alright, this is phenomenal. We can get some loyalty there. Only 10, it looks like. That's unfortunate. I wish that it was more. What do we want to trade? So, Okanea Boya could gain loyalty, and we lose some money. So, because all of these get loyalty for the province, the question becomes, is 28 gold worth 10 loyalty to that character? Probably not. Or she loses loyalty down to 40, that'd be fine, and she loses the money. I think this one's the most likely. I'm not going to trade 2,000 manpower and 10 PI This is never going to be clicked. All right, Okanea, time to, put up or show up about being the governor. So that now secures this slightly. I wish that I could move the provincial capital over to the fortified Baia Desolata, but not so fast. We'll have to get to that later. Wish my manpower cap was higher, but we'll address that in the future. I think maybe manpower cap is based on your integrated pops, but actual manpower isn't. I said between episodes I might look into this, and I forgot to, so we continue to live in unfortunate ignorance of exactly how that works. I am glad that my ships are not taking attrition. I did check between episodes. They were recovering their strength. A couple of them were damaged from the attrition, but they were recovering their strength while they were hanging out at Ibasim, so that's pretty good. Fortress is done. Nice. All right. So I think what I'll do, because we plan to go to war on November 1st, to give it a month of morale boost up to the cap. So the election shouldn't throw that off too much. So, of course, we have to react to the election at that point, mostly just to restabilize things and restore our support. We shall see what ends up happening. I hope that the approval doesn't, collapse with every election. That would mean that attending to the factional balance has to be something we redo every 5 years at the minimum. I prefer that it actually, change a little bit to reflect the change in power, but it doesn't, reset or anything. It shouldn't really reset. I don't really think that would make any sense, but I suppose we shall see. All right, there exists in Carpetania a general feeling of dissatisfaction at the financial practices of Lower Niska Arosa, who is my tributary of the treasury, or rather a tribune of the treasury. Malicious rumors circulate, painting a wild picture of the hoards of gold jealously squirreled away in the national treasury. She is low statesmanship. Yeah, I know, I just put her into office. Oh, hold on. This event didn't pause the game. That is illegal. Stop it. I think I might go for this. Bayoestis' popularity is capped out, and he's about to be replaced in an election, so that doesn't really matter as much anyways. 40 gold for 6 stability is probably worth it. In fact, I know for sure that it's worth it, just looking at the income of stability versus the income of gold. This is the sort of reason why having some gold stored up is a pretty good call. So I will absolutely go for this. Donate to the poor. Stability boost, 58. That's going to help with our provincial loyalty quite a bit. Disagreement on the highest level. Aramed Luca, a woman of sound reputation, and Mandubrachius Arosis, a nobleman of great virtue, have recently started to spar furiously whilst attending the assembly. Such behavior is unbecoming of these people of stature. However, we've been called upon to take a side in the latest conflict. So, Mandubrachius is a researcher. Aramed is just some lady. We know who she is, but she's not an officer is the key point. If I had to pick between them, I would prefer to boost Mandubrachius' loyalty, or, I think because, again, we're capped on popularity at the moment. Again, I wish all these popularity events were happening after the election, because you need to make sure your main Archon is popular. And after an election, they're often not very popular, which, if you ask me, is the inverse of how it works in real life. Normally, in real life, after an election, the president, the equivalent of the Archon, is at their most popular, and then it declines sharply ever since that point. And this is just consistent across the board. So let's go ahead and go for this one. Mandubrachius is a more important character at the moment, and he does have also less loyalty. So let's side with Mandubrachius. Let's hope that doesn't escalate any further in some weird way. Now, I could also spend my PI. I think I might actually spend my next 20 PI on Martial Ethos. Again, I could go to permanent shipyards at this point, but we're not quite there yet. We still have maybe a couple more decades to go before the big shipbuilding era begins. An ordered retreat isn't bad, but I don't think it's better than Martial Ethos at the moment. Particularly because we're not really much more technologically advanced than the tribes. We're essentially more structurally and conceptually advanced, but in terms of technology, we are still using the exact same tech as all the tribes around us. We haven't really progressed very far quite yet, so let's hope that that does get improved over time. But at the moment, we are where we are. So I think in August, I'll do it in July. May as well. I'm not sure how long it's going to take for everybody to march over, so let's give ourselves plenty of time. I think I will also... Well... I may be fine to not worry about increased pay anymore because the integrated culture happiness may hurt. That being said, all of the Carpetanian population are living in my mostly loyal provinces. I do have some in the disloyal provinces, but this shouldn't really hurt that much. So if we're just trading 10% morale for that, the thing is, am I going to be looking to take fights? I think, keeping in mind that I don't really have any allies at the moment, I could pick up an ally for this war. Do I bring in an ally to this war? That's actually a good question. Does anybody want to be my ally? Maybe not. Everyone around here are Iberic, so they're not... I guess you're actually fine with it. I could ally with Seditania just to get some more people involved, but they're not really going to strategically help at all. I guess Bastatania might help. And they would at least distract Mastia, but then I'd be worried about them actually getting Mastia under control. I think I might actually try this fight without any allies at all. I think it's definitely doable. Well, hold on. Is everybody here in just one region? Yeah, everyone here is in a mono region, so every faction here should be bringing in 2,000 guys. Whereas so that'd be 8,000 in total, and then I'd have 10,000. So I should, in theory, beat their army head-on with my army, but that is assuming everyone combines, which isn't going to happen right away. It's definitely a little risky to go at this without allies, and if I start the war without an ally, I can't really fix that later. I'd be stuck in that situation. I think the safest bet is to bring in Bastania and actually make sure that I can reach Mastia before they siege it down, and I can assume control by having more forces. I mean, keeping in mind that I'll use my classes to drop people off and try and get Mastia at the start of the war. And by the way, I do plan to actually load my forces onto the boats from over here. I don't really want to have my navy take attrition traveling back and forth over to Toletum to pick them up from here. I can just pick them up from my own territory over here. There's no need to ferry them. And also, honestly, traveling by boat all the way around the peninsula might actually be slower than just walking over here in a weird way. So let's try and make the right call there. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is ally with Bastania. They are actually not that far away from being my next target, so only for this war Bastania will be involved. They are in a defensive league with Mastia, which means, well, would they join a war against a tag that would call in their league partner is the question. Well, let's actually see right now what happens. So so my plan is to attack Contestani. We call these guys in. All right. Let's ally with them and see how they would react. We're not going to declare the war right this second, of course, but we're just going to investigate. Because if they wouldn't join this war right now, I should just abandon the alliance and pick somebody else. Not that I have a lot of other options, but let's offer the alliance to Bastatania, and then let's investigate. This may need a month to update, so we will let that update. Let's also raise our forces now, and also do this. Alright. I'm not going to increase the pay because the Navy maintenance cost for 5% morale is outrageous. There might be some circumstance where this is a worthwhile trade-off. Compared to the army maintenance, where I have already focused so much on my integrated culture happiness, the 10% morale on the land is really strong, especially given... fighting Iberics, they do have some military advantages from their religion compared to me. But fleet maintenance is already really high, and boosting this up is dubious. I'll just go to default, and I may in fact actually lower it once I snipe all the navies. In this war, we're not going to focus specifically on getting their navies out, because unlike the previous war, where there was one port we could look at, this war is going to involve nations with something like 8 or 9 ports, so it'd be too hard to make that happen as a strategy in the time that we have. Also turn our forts on. Alright, let's get our army going. Actually, hold on. Where can I... Let's see. Yeah, so now I can raise Lusitanian armies way further this direction towards Toletum. That's actually handy that it's been moved now, so that's pretty good. Yeah, and of course it's being led by the governor. This is going to be our first war as a republic with the governor generals, which is great. The Constanti army can actually get raised all the way over here, which I think I will go for. Actually, that was the Terraconessus army, but same idea. And then you get raised up there, and then you get raised over here. That's everybody. All right. So we've got our different governors. Are actually all female group of governors. I actually didn't even plan that, but we've got the the all-female governor general staff right here. All right. And then Beoesos. Now, I should note actually that if I end up getting a new Archon who's got terrible martial, we have to kind of account for that, but that changing shouldn't like destroy all of my plans. It should still be fine. Let's so the other thing too is we need to have some amount of them go on the ships, and 10,000 of them can fit onto the 20 ships. I don't plan to drop off 10,000 of them on Mastia at the same time. That would be overkill. Mastia is a level 1 fortress, so that's 2,000, well, more than 2,000 minimum, so like 2,500 minimum to do that siege. But I anticipate Bastania will send in forces, because keeping in mind that Diatania won't actually be in the war, so that should be totally fine. I think what I should do, keeping in mind that Arce is a level 2 fort, is I should actually have a force, I think, work on Mentessa first, because Mentessa is really far out of the way, and getting this siege under control will be handy. And they would need to get through a fort to get in very far. They could go for, of course, Arcus, so we have to be a little careful about that. But everything else, even this one is blocked by a fort, Baia Desolata, so they couldn't reach Kere, and everything else around here, now that Baia Superiores is built, is fortified. So we've got a fairly coherent fort line along this whole frontier. So let's go, because if we go for Mentessa, their army has to kind of gather up a lot and make its way over here. It's going to take them a long time, and I'm more near my territory, so it's a little safer. I think what I'll do is send a team of 4,000, I think, is probably the right call. And the Mentessa force probably actually should involve this army that's going to have the kind of flex general who's going to change right before the war starts. Because the siege army, yeah, so I should have actually raised this army over here. Oh well, I'll move them now. Should be fine. So let's have them go over here. And then which of you is going to be good for this? You're both completely fine, honestly. I think this army is better for sieging. This army would be better for fighting. So let's have you come over. Let's have them go to Pons Rugio. I should have made these plants before I actually summoned the levies. Oh well, not a huge issue. So that's our 4,000 on Mentessa. Now, if I didn't think I'd be attacked at Mentessa at all, and they weren't trying to dislodge me from the siege, I would just send 2,500 to account for attrition, because you need 2,000 minimum. But because it's possible they'll be attacked, I don't think I'll be attacked by more than 4,000 without expecting that to happen, because I should have eyes on the situation. So you head up here, and you head over here as well. And I think, so if we have 6,000 here, what I might do is actually drop off 6,000 at Mastia. And this is a bit of a weird way to start the war by focusing on these outer edge forts. But getting this stuff under control helps me get some early momentum. And I should beat them in a siege race if they go for like Pons Rugio or Baia Superiores. That being said, I'll be pretty out of position to react to them getting close to winning those sieges. So that could be a little dangerous. It might be better to actually have 6,000 at Mentessa and 4,000 at Mastia, because I expect Bastarnia will also send some forces to Mastia. Because I want to have a force that's able to react to them sieging down, because these are all both colonies, so I really don't want these places to get sacked. Or I guess actually Baia Superiores isn't a colony. But technically Indibilis is a colony too, because that's a lot of Carpetanian pops I don't want to be enslaved, and then I lose them. Okay, I think what I'll do is I will keep 6,000 at Mentessa, because the force at Mastia can flee onto the boats when they see an approaching army. That siege will be fairly safe. The siege over here, it's safe in the sense of being near my core territory, but if they send a 7,000 stack this direction, I need to be able to at least escape without losing everything. I guess if they send a 7,000 stack, either way, it doesn't matter if I'm sending 6,000 or 4,000. So what we'll do instead, let's have both of you come here. Okay, so that settles that. Yeah. All right, that's fine. All right. And then 31st of July, or I guess 1st of September, we'll see what they have to say about going to war in this way. Or August, not September, excuse me. We have another tradition ready to go. So last time we got all gods, all gods are welcome, and we could now go for this. This is actually quite good timing, because I was just talking about wanting to do more city construction and buildings. Also, the territory of Toiletum gets another fortress. That's actually pretty good. It will take us over our fort limit, but I could also do the provincial investment to add more fort capacity. And I'm not entirely sure what that does. I think that actually just increases our fort cost. It's sort of like a tax for being over the limit. But having a double fortified capital at this point is pretty smart. That would make me feel at least a little more secure. And also the bonuses are super good. So this is super, super likely. This one here is pretty good, but I don't think it's better than Levantine Construction. Also, Levantine Construction gets us closer to coastal ports, which would be nice to get before we do our big Navy builds. And these bonuses here aren't... I actually like this one a lot, because getting extra assault ability is kind of hard, but I don't think it's worth wanting to get closer to this to overlook Levantine Construction. Over here, this one is good, but it's not super critical at the moment. And this one is also fine. This one's great because you get a lot of Carpetanian pops and manpower recovery speed, but I'd have to go through 2 to get to this one. National Fort Infrastructure Capacity could be pretty good, though, because that's every single province gets that. So this is actually pretty strong. Numantine Defense. But I think for now, I'd rather go for Levantine Construction, because I do have city foundings on the horizon, and getting this in place first is going to be handy, because this also affects the PI cost, which of course is the big bottleneck resource. All right, Levantine Construction. All right, we've learned some things from the Levantine colonies, such as their building techniques. Handy. We get a free fort here. It does use up a building slot, but that's totally fine. So now this place is super fortified. Yeah, noticing as well that each fort does reduce manpower a little bit, so that is something for us to keep in mind. But they also boost up other things, so that is great. Where are our citizens? Didn't we have citizens here earlier? Oh, they must have all promoted to nobles. Right, we have such a high pop promotion bonus. We're going to have citizens turn to nobles really quick. Let's see some freemen become citizens now, ideally. Oh, wow. 15.30%? That's really big. Sheesh. All right. Happy with that. All right, so if we attacked Contestani. So Bastania would join. So this is good to see, because I think they shouldn't be able to join. Also, their capital is a double fort, which is pretty great to see. I think they shouldn't be able to join, given that they are in a league with Mastia, but I don't think the game knows or like plans around that, because I am attacking their league partner, but because their league partner is just being called. So I guess the thing here is because the enemy allies list, this isn't people who joined the war at the moment you declare it. It's people who your target will automatically ask to join, essentially after the action of me doing this, because if they join the war at the moment it was declared, such as if they were a direct league partner, right, because Mastia is not a league partner, which means that the joining is automatic. They're an ally, which means that Contestani actually asks them as soon as I attack. So because it's not a league partnership, maybe that's the difference. I'm not sure. I'll never understand how this works, but anyways, let us resume. Election soon. Yep, I am aware. Who is likely to... Oh, it looks like we might be winning re-election, which would be handy. I guess that's fine. I didn't think about that, but yeah, re-election is totally possible. All right. So far, so good. I'm on to speed 2 now. Pour myself some coffee for this one. All right. let's head down to... I think I want us to be able to retreat into Caput. So let's go there. Also start selecting our tactics here. So let's put you onto bottleneck and tell you to organize like yeah, all right, and then you also lead this force. And then you, let's set onto envelopment. You attach. You're arriving any moment now. All right, you, let's go on to bottleneck as well. Archers, heavy infantry, very good. You can lead, and you, same force. All right. Archers, heavy infantry. Okay, and then we're still waiting for morale to boost up. Now, keeping in mind that with the naval range, we do have to, let's see. Yeah, we're still super far outside the naval range. So, let's see here. You over there, okay. And here we go, 1st of October. There it is. So the election is tomorrow, but we can now call ourselves an omen. And I will be going for Condamius, just to get the morale boost for this war. There we go. That's why we waited for the 1st of October to declare, or to be ready to declare the war. And then also, I think I do want to switch Ico Walauna to Rosmerta, which I mentioned before. Getting the manpower recovery speed omen available to us would be handy. Sorry about that small cut there. I had to do something very quickly that I didn't expect would come up during this recording session. But anyways, I was talking about possibly switching to Rosmerta. I didn't do anything off camera, I promise. Not that anyone except me probably cares about that, but I do try to keep all of my actions on camera just for the sake of continuity. But I guess if anything, I just had more time to think about it. I think I will want to switch this at this point. I've been waiting to switch Ico Walauna when I wasn't going for them. Now, this would mean I'd lose out on being able to switch to Ico Walauna as an omen if I was so inclined. I'm getting pop capacity, which I do like a lot, but Rosmerta also gives me national population growth, which might matter more than pop capacity at this stage of the game. And of the options here, maybe Enduelicus might be a little better for the state religion happiness omen, but I don't know. I think that Rosmerta just makes the most sense. This does cost 15 stability, but we're in a pretty good place stability-wise. I don't really plan on changing any laws at the moment, so this should be fine. Let's take this chance now to switch to Rosmerta. That is totally fine. And now we've also got some positive stability trends. That's pretty good. And we've got that figured out. Condamius is in effect. And then tomorrow we shall see what happens with the election. Unpopular council. Never wanted to challenge the status quo or even to do anything remotely considered interesting. Beikianis Galbus has been elected Archon. Is this the same character? I think it is, right? No, this is a different character. Okay, I was mistaken. They just have similar names. So we were previously playing as Beowesis. This is Beikianis Galbus. So this was the previous court physician, I believe. He's been elected Archon by a slim majority of dull buffoons and wine-stained togas. It would be fair to say, perhaps, that Beikianis does not hold the confidence of the people, or of me with that marshal. Wow, that's a bad general. Yikes, I'm really glad I'm shoring up that levy with other competent general governors. Good finesse, so that's going to be handy for our core, and the other stats are okay, especially the zeal, not so much the charisma. Yikes. He does not hold the confidence of the people in the same manner as the Stoic rulers of old. Okay, so I can pick which of these bad options to go for. I could spend some money to give this guy a little popularity boost, which he desperately needs. Or I could trade 10 Tyranny for 20 PI. That's kind of tempting, because PI is something I'm desperately in need of at the moment. That being said, is 20 PI worth 10 Tyranny? for as much as I love PI, 10 tyranny is a lot. Although, I am not far from the tyranny floor, and I'm not going to be doing any enslaving in these wars, most likely. I don't really plan to. I don't think I need to, at least. So, this would give me a way to get some more PI. I think I'll go for that. We'll risk it. Alright, so this guy is in the traditionalist faction, but he's not the leader of the faction at the moment. So let the day go by. So fortunately, my support didn't collapse, so that's pretty good. I do need a new physician, though. I suppose I could just put Beoesis as the physician. We'll do a bit of a switcheroo. He is super corrupt, though, so I don't really want to put him back into government if I can help it. Let's put Seneca in Dutia. She's not corrupt. Her loyalty is good. High finesse. Yeah, let's go for that. Alright, so in terms of our government, I guess we've got the non-party... I guess it makes sense. I mean, in real-life republics, party leaders don't always necessarily become the executive office holder. But it sort of is a little weird that the party leader isn't the actual Archon. I guess essentially Beoesis has kind of transferred power to someone else in his party leadership, which is actually pretty realistic to how republics work. But do our laws not prevent re-election? Or do they prevent re-election? I guess I'm not entirely sure. I assume that they... I guess they might. Or I guess they do, because if you can just get re-elected permanently, it's not really a republic. Oh, well, I don't really know. Either way, it's fine. We've accounted for everything, so... Hello, barbarians. Oh, you're going towards me. Towards, Mentessa. This is a problem. These guys are going to siege down Mentessa and get in my way. Okay, this actually changes a lot, that the fact that these barbarians just happen to spawn right now. I can't fight them in Mentessa. I'd be in serious trouble. They'd probably beat this army or damage it severely. And that is extremely irritating. I need to move this army now because they are not in a position to fight these barbs. I think what I need to do is relocate them. Hold on. What do I do here? So Ad Palem is the provincial capital of Contestania Septentrionalis, and it's also unfortified. It's hard to see because it's in the fog of war, but it does have the provincial colony modifier, or the provincial capital thing there. So let's actually move over here. We'll go for Ad Palem instead. They should get into position in time to move down here. And then from there, I guess we could go for Ad Aris. We'll see what happens, but getting this unsecured provincial capital right away will be handy. And this one over here is secured in Editania. Or rather, in Edita. Okay, that's totally fine. Bad timing on the barbarians, but not much I can do. Now, do I grab a... Oh, yeah, I should. I forgot to do this. Let's grab Martial Ethos. Just stack up army morale as hard as we can before the war starts. And now, I think on these ones we wait. I would like to get more monthly corruption reduction, but I think we need to save up now for cities. Because if we want to found a city at this point, that's going to cost... Actually, 47 PI is pretty good. We're really lowering it a lot with all these modifiers. I think after this war, we can found a city in Pons Rugio, or in Satalikia. I think I'd actually prioritize Satalikia over Pons Rugio. Pons Rugio has a much higher population, and they are mostly Carpetanians, which is nice. But Satalikia is a better city spot. It's on the river and whatnot, so I kind of would prefer to go that direction. I'll have to think about it once we get to that point. All right. Let's hope that these barbs don't go into my territory. Also, are they assaulting? Oh, wow. That was quick. Alright, that's fine. I'll just leave them to it. But that is a little alarming. I guess at the least, this will make the rest of the war score acquisition a little easier. Let's go and grab these guys also with our boats. We will take some attrition while we're moving around, but we want to get into position to attack Mostia at the start of the war. Outside naval range, I'm aware. Yes. This is really at 0 now. Why are they so mad? I don't understand how this can be back at 0. It was so positive last episode. I'm literally on a harsh treatment right now. What's the issue? It's not governor corruption. What is it? I just don't know. I have no idea how to address this. I've tried everything over here. It's just such a mess. Alright. You come over here and pick these guys up. Are you both in the right policy? Yeah. You attach. Also, yeah, I gotta fix this. I'm gonna be on skirmishing. Archers first, then light infantry, then light cav. You're gonna follow. All right. We're gonna wait a little bit. Hold on, Tribune of the People. What happened here? Maybe it was a murder or something. I'm not really sure. All right, Okanea Galba, you're going to be the Tribune of the People. Weren't you a officer before? I seem to recall this. Maybe she's a family head. I don't know. But actually, you're kind of corrupt, though, is the issue. You know what? I'm going to put Inamarcus Arosis into this position. He's not corrupt. I prefer that. There we go. These boats are so slow. Marriage. Bei Kianus, which is our Archon Galbus, and Kona Arosa have been married. Okay, so we have a marriage with the Arosii family. Hopefully they calm down a bit after this whole Republican Reformation. Maybe this will make them a little chill. All right, on to the boats we go. 24th of November. All right, that's fine. These boats will just eat the attrition. Should be okay, I hope. These guys are coming into my land now, which I don't like at all. What is this timing? I swear, this is such bad timing. Yes, Barb's in my land, I know. It's not the end of the universe, because they will add population to these spots, although this place does have a serious lack of population. So I hope they don't depopulate this, because I can't really fix that easily. I guess I can from Pons Rugio, but let's hope they add population and not take it away. Alright, now you come on down here, and we'll blockade and also land in Mastia, with the ability to run back onto the ships if necessary. Once we're in position with that, we will declare the war. Kaput is lost, that's fine. They added a tribesman. Fine by me. Alright, here we go. Let's attack Contestani. Same exact people involved. We'll call in Bastania. Let's do it. Take Editania. Alright. The Iberian local power of Contestani, Editania, Mastia, and Saguntia, Saguntinia have all rallied together to defend in this war. Those are all the people I was wanting to target, so that is handy. Alright. There's my leader. Land right there. We may run into somebody as they get raised, but I'm willing to take a risk like that. What is our... Right, there we go. 6th of January. Yeah, we will probably run into somebody, but that is fine. And we are going to get the blockade bonus. One thing I could do, actually, is split my navy up into 2 and also blockade this sea tile. In fact, I think that I will, because the blockade bonus for war score is outrageous. We're getting 10 war score from just the blockade right now, so... This is the secret of wars that involve navies, is blockading ports gives you insane war score. So we have to wait till the army disembarks anyways before we reorganize, but oh well. Let's go over to add Palum and just grab that really quick. Also go and grab Inkusum. I'd send a little force over to grab it first, but they're going to spawn at Idata, so they'd be sniped. Alright, let us start things off here. Need to sip some coffee for this. Alright, so we're going to catch these guys. 4,000 versus 2,000 when they're at a low or not full morale. This should be totally fine. This is a pretty bad engagement terrain-wise. We are landing over a... we're doing a coastal, like, landing attack. But it is into the plains, and their army is smaller. Their army has worse morale. We should be okay. Alright. On we go. They're going to go for outpost. That's fine. Engage the enemy. Let's see how this fight goes. Let's see. 500 or less casualties, please. That is what I prefer. Also, while that's happening, let's split you up. We'll just call this the... don't know if I spelled auxiliary right, but actually, hold on. Let's just call this the sea. Here, hold on. Mare Balerium blockade. Just so we remember what this is. No need to assign an admiral. I guess I probably should, because I am paying for their morale, so may as well assign an admiral. Let's assign Chiomara Arosa. That's fine, and send you up there. All right. Oh, hello, everybody. Oh wait, no, that's me. I am a certified dum-dum. Just ignore me. Okay, 500 or less. Let's see it. That was 500 or less. Good job. All right. Not a stack wipe, but I'd be pretty lucky to get a stack wipe in that situation. All right, so now we can start the siege. And if Bastarnians do arrive, I can always assume control, because I should have the majority. They should only have, yeah, they have 2,000 in total. I have 4,000. I have the numbers I need to assume control in that situation, which is important. Can I catch this guy with one of my forces? No, I can't, because I have to, yeah. The zone of control ruins my life once again, as I should have expected. These guys are just going to walk around adding tribesmen to my land. That's fine by me. You goofy. Alright, so now, so the other nice thing about blockading is each of their navies individually, in all these different ports, can't challenge any of my two navies. But if they all were to approach at the same time, I might actually be in some trouble. But the 4 different AIs won't coordinate like that. I don't think the AI is capable of coordinating to that extent. Duniquia wants wine. All right. That's fine. All right. Oh, yeah. There we go. And now, I could send this force over to Mentese. This is a fairly safe siege at this point. And they may have low... what is their... Yeah, their garrison's super low at the moment. I might be able to sneakily grab a really, really quick siege because it's a tiny barbarian garrison. That's kind of tempting, honestly. I think I'm going to actually send, like, 2,000 over there just for that purpose. It's very cheesy of me, but I think I will go for it. I'll send 2,000 of Beikianis's force because he is the worst of these forces. So let's have you go over there and maybe send 500 more. Because I'll take attrition, most likely, and then it'll be a mess. Alright, let me send 500 more as well from a... Actually, I guess that would also allow that... Actually, if I send 500 from one of my good generals with my weaker general stack, that general should lead the force in a fight, so that would actually be quite handy. Let's send 500 cav from this force. The second levy of Satella can join this team and go that direction. Hold on. There we go. And then meanwhile, over here, I think this force wants to go... Let's see, we got 3,000 up here, 2,000 here. Against 5,000, this force isn't in a position to do anything. I think what this force wants to do is go to add Otis and start sieging, and hopefully catch some of these retreaters from the Mastia attack. If not, that's okay, but just start sieging here. This is going to distract and pull these forces back southward, which I kind of want to slow them down up here. They're not going to get very far, because again, they're going to have to siege something to progress any further, but dislodging them would be handy. Alright, that all looks fine. Let's resume. Honoring the gods. The pious traditionalists have decided to use their numerical superiority in the assembly to ensure the commission of a new temple complex in Toletum, pleasing the gods with statues and their egos with inscriptions. Such spending, whether frivolous or sanctified, could only be countered by invoking the veto of our humble Archon, who we should note is in the traditionalist party, so... Whoops. We could get a free library. I kind of hope that this would give us actually a grand temple, which we can't normally build at the moment. And I believe the traditionalists want to have happen. That's their faction goal. Also, we could do another round of confiscations to boost our Democrat support, but we have pretty good support at the moment, so You know, honestly, I was so scared about the support mechanics. I remember from when I first played the game, playing as Rome, this really kind of was confusing and disheartening, but so far it's been pretty fine, honestly. Anyways, so we would get a free library if we go for this option. We lose 50 gold, which I don't like a lot, but Ikianis does get some popularity, which is good. We get a free library, which is so the library is worth more than 50 gold, so that is nice. If we basically ever plan to build a library here, this would be a net boost in gold. Now, libraries aren't bad at all, and in the capital especially, they might be handy to boost up our research point generation from all of our nobles, and I was about to say all of our citizens too, but they're all already nobles. That being said, its other bonuses aren't phenomenal. We don't really have any I guess we have a couple non-druidics, but the conversion speed doesn't matter a whole lot in Toletum specifically. We'd also get 10 approval from the Traditionalists, which is handy given they are our majority party at the moment. Yeah, they're just like a super majority party. Oh, 50 approval? Wow, that's really harsh. Yikes. Okay, I guess I don't really have an option actually at all. This is essentially not an option. I have to go for this decision because I can't. 50 approval loss from the Traditionalists would make my government collapse. Yikes. All right, I guess we're going to take a ride together on the Reading Rainbow, get ourselves a library. That's pretty brutal. These guys are adding population to my land. Joke's on you, that's what I wanted. All right, so we have a library now. We could always destroy the library to get some money back, but I think I'll just keep the library. It's not like I wouldn't want a library in this town. It's just not really a priority building at the moment. That's fine. Okay, that's going to delay our next cities for a bit, but that should be okay. Meanwhile, things here are looking fine. Keep an eye on the siege, make sure no one assumes control in a goofy way. Supply shortage, very good. Also keep an eye on the attrition of these ships. Strength is okay at the moment, but if we go by like a year and we haven't done something about that, once we go sit in, I don't know if I showed this on camera, but while we're in a port that we have through a treaty, like a friendly port like Ibasim, we do recover our strength on monthly ticks, which is great. So we will keep an eye. Oh, hold on. Oh, shoot. I actually have a hole in my zone of control, my fort zone of control. Can I switch this right now before they arrive? No, I need 50 or more. Ah, shoot. I didn't realize I had a hole in this. So I guess now that I think about it, they can sneak through here. They get locked in once they arrive at Cade, but that's fine, because then they can just shoot. Yeah, I'm going to lose Cade. That is a huge issue. Not really in terms of population. There are a lot of slaves here that I don't want to be moved away because I'm getting stone. But it will be a big war score issue. I guess the fort may block zone of control from changing, so or occupation from changing. So maybe it'll be fine, but I'm irritated that this is an issue. All right, these guys will arrive soon. Oh well, it is what it is. These guys are going to go back. Once they get locked in, I'll send a force back over to snipe this force. Probably, and by a force, I mean most of this force here. I think I'm going to risk leaving a 500 force at Ad Addis just to keep it locked. I guess I just started, so it doesn't matter that much if I just move everybody. In fact, I think I'll just move everybody and then bounce back over once these guys get locked in. Yeah, because we just started, so it's not really a huge deal. All right. Let's do that. Okay. Now, I'm just going to do the siege naturally. I guess at the end of the day, we're just going to do the Mentessa siege, essentially, after all, so that's fine. So, literally the entire game, I've been wanting to move this provincial capital to the fort, but I've just not been allowed to, and just as we're about to be allowed to, it becomes an issue. It is what it is. I've gotta just be fine with it. At least the fort's gonna block the occupation from spreading, because the fort protects every other spot that I control in the province. So now they'll go work on the fort. It's fine. It's fine. No need to be too upset. It is what it is. Okay. Bella Desolata, that's fine. Barbs are causing more trouble. Okay. Did they get away? Oh my god. Alright, we'll assume control over here. That shouldn't be an issue. We have more army size than they do. Also, they're splitting this force apart for some reason. Very bizarre. No, it's mine. Stop it. Keep a close eye on that. Now that I have allies again, this is going to be a recurring thing. I guess I could also use my PI to switch my policy. My diplomacy stance, I should say. No, not that. Yeah, it's 30 PI. I guess I'm not really in a position yet to start founding cities. I don't have quite enough money, and I think I'd rather do this first, switch to mercantile stance. Yeah, my days of neutral stance, I think, are over at this point. I don't think I'll need 2 allies again. I was debating even getting 1 ally, so... Is there any other option that would be better? Appeasing stance is great if you have a long-term alliance that you want to maintain. And Beiko stance is also fine for claim fabrication speed, but we're not really fabricating lots of different claims. We're getting a lot of claims through our mission tree, so... And aggressive expansion impact is kind of nice to reduce, but I think we're at 0 aggressive expansion right now, so that's totally fine. This is great if you're trying to integrate people quickly and you have subject states. I think under our circumstances, mercantile stance is the best option, all things considered. All right, let's switch. Mercantile diplomatic stance means that all our efforts are focused on making new trade deals as well as increasing the profitability of existing ones. The best thing about it isn't the commerce boost, it's actually the diplomatic bonus to people within range. Because if you don't think about it, or if you think about it, all of the factions within range are just all the factions you want to have good relations with. There's sort of no reason to worry about boosted relations with somebody out of range, because they can't really interact with you. At least not that I can think of. That should be totally fine. Petition. The wealthy residents of Waluka have sent a formal petition on behalf of the entire province complaining about the harsh ways of their governor, Okanea Boia. It seems that her taxation policy is causing quite furor amongst landowners who are having to work their slaves to the bone in order to meet new tax quotas. It is certainly unusual for one of our subjects to complain in such a manner. Okay, so I would lose loyalty. Actually, no, I wouldn't. I would just lose local pop happiness. I could gain loyalty with Okanea and gain corruption on Beikianis, but he has corruption reduction. Let's see here. I would get more popularity doing this, but Okanea is a really good general and a good governor, so I don't really want to lose her. I think I'll go for the option that boosts up her loyalty. I'm not going to upset Celtiberius and Centralis, but they're already angry, so... yeah. I can't mess around right now, because she's also leading forces right now, so she's doing a fine job. Everything's fine. No need to worry about it at all. We're all chill around here. That's fine. Yeah, they're gathering everybody up here. Mastia is 1. That's great. 1 for me, which is even better. Now, let's rush up to Ilikia, or rather Iliki, and grab this super quick, and then get on the boats from there. It's faster, by the way. Actually, I think getting on the boats from the port would be fastest of all, so let's actually hang out here for a moment, and then drop off at Iliki. Which, how fast is it to march up this direction? A couple days. I think it's actually fastest just to march to Iliki, then we'll get on the boats from Iliki. That should be totally fine. Plus, the boats are about to fight the Navy as it pops out. Alright. Yeah, 5th of June. Oh, hold on. I didn't stop the movement order. Whoops. Alright, we're going to miss them. That's fine. I guess now that we're in the port... I guess they're already on the move. Alright, that was a small micro mishap, but it is what it is. We are chill. Let's go back out and get our blockade resumed. Alright. A little bit nervous about this siege up here. These guys want furs, that's fine. I want to go to Slavs them, but they have a huge force up there. I would need to send multiple groups up. Ideally, these two groups could go up together, but they are not ready yet to get the siege secured. Baia Desolata may just have to be a sacrifice. It's not a colony, so it's not very populous. In fact, it's only 4 slaves. And if they do get this, they still have to cause more damage. Let's see here. They do have a way into my core, but through here, because they can, let me look at it like this. Where's my zone of control map mode? They can kind of sneak in like this, but that doesn't give them access to super juicy targets. And the juiciest stuff is still blocked by Toletum, Baia Superiores, and Waluka. These 3 places are much more important places to not lose to sieges, because this is a colony, this is already a city. Actually, no, is this a colony? This isn't even a colony, is it? No. And Toletum is super fortified, so it's okay if they take this. It does just slow things down. This is a pretty big war, all things considered, so we are going to take some losses here and there, but just got to look at the big picture, all things considered. Oh, they're going to siege Toletum? Are you serious, Barbs? Well, that's a problem. I need to address this. I cannot lose Toletum to Barbs. That would be a disaster. Alright, these stupid Barbs are changing everything. I need to send this 4,000 and this 2,000 up to address this. I think I might split away 500 just to stay here and keep this going. While I send 2,000, so that'd be 6,000 versus... Yeah, that should be fine. Unfortunately, I have to address this immediately. I can't... And then I'll have that force go up that direction. Okay, that's the plan. That's what we're going to do. Alright. Fortunately, we got this right before these guys arrived. They probably assumed control illegally, which is annoying. Let's get military access through these guys, please. There we go. And now, we're going to send you hustling over here. Just as fast as you can go. Alright. We have plenty of time before Toletum is sieged, but the force that we send over to relieve Toletum will then go up this direction to probably react to this force after they win at Baia Desolata. At the very least, we've got Mastia under control, so that's pretty good. And I believe... I don't think you can do separate pieces in this game. I'm fairly sure, at least. Actually, maybe you can, because these guys aren't able to offer... I'm not entirely sure how this works. If I'm able to do a separate piece... I mean, Mastia won't actually agree to this, which is hilarious, but they should after a month or 2. If I can do a separate piece with Mastia... But it's not entirely clear that that's what's happening. Because if I go over here, and I just do a peace deal... Yeah... I'd be worried about doing that and then accidentally ending the war with only Mastia annexations. Because if I can separate piece Mastia, if I was allowed to, Mastia's forces are part of this bigger force up here. Actually, wait, are they? You know, honestly, they're actually not. They're still on their way over, so I'm not even sure how much that would help. Not entirely sure. I have to think about that. But we're likely to lose Baia Desolata on a 7%. I assume that's going to happen at this point. I mean, why wouldn't it, you know? Also, maybe we'll win Mentessa at 14%. Engage the enemy? Oh, naval fight. Oh! Shoot! They have mercenary navy. Yikes. Okay, I didn't notice that at all. Get out of there. When can we retreat? Next day. Go, go, go. Alright, we did not lose any ships. That's extremely lucky, but they have a... Is this their mercenary navy? Hold on. No. It was a No, it wasn't a mercenary navy. It was a pirate navy. That's what that was. Are you going north? I think you are, right? Okay. You've got to escape, too. Let's have you run over here. All right. We got to be on the... We got to keep our eyes peeled for pirates. That was a small micro mistake, but didn't lose any ships. And as expected, 7%. Why not? You know, when I do a siege, it's 49% month after month for the entirety of all of time. When the AI does a siege, 7%? Oh, of course. I called it. I'm so angry that I can't move the provincial capital over after it got moved by stupid nonsense over, and I was so close to 50%, and all of this whole... It's fine. It's fine. Everything's cool. Everything's chill here in the Republic of Carpetania. Everything's going just fine. Just small issues popping up here and there, but ultimately, we're all chill. We're all doing great. They're going to come back south. They're not going to even push into my land. No reason to worry at all. We can take a peace deal even if they have stuff fortified and under occupation and it's fortified. We're being attacked in the sea again. Oh, no. What? Oh, no. Where's my... Hold on. Did my navy just get stacked? Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. Wait, how? What? Did that little... Oh, because they were low on morale. That was half my navy just got destroyed. Oh, my God. All right, well, we're going to likely win this fight, but that is a huge problem that half our navy just got killed. Yeah. Oh, my God. I guess it's not affecting the war score that much, but that is very frustrating. And I can't build more ships at Toletem because it's under... Actually, wait, can I? Maybe I can. No, I can't. Okay, because it's under siege. That's okay. I don't need 20 ships specifically, but that is very annoying that that happened. Man, this war is just making me so mad. Right. This fight should be fine, right? Hold on. Go back over to it. Yeah, there we go. In fact, we gained some ships, for what that's worth, and we captured their admiral. All right, that's the pirate navy up there. Let's actually have you run over here and try and restore... No, hold on. Yeah, we wouldn't make it before the siege stick happens. Let's go back over here. Keep our eyes peeled on the pirates, though, of course. All right. At least we won the siege. That's pretty handy. These guys are arriving within a couple days. Let's have them all gather up and then go together, I think, would be worth it. So at least we got the siege at Mentessa finally. So we are making some gains, and we are still overall in the positive war score side, but this is definitely an extremely messy war. Okay, now they're going to go work on Baea Superioris, but I should have the numbers, or maybe I'll have the numbers to counteract this. I'd be defending in the plains, and I think I'd get the river crossing bonus as well. We shall see what ends up happening once I take on the Barbs. Alright, let's have all of you join this force here. Alright. Let's go relieve our siege at our capital and then react to this. This is so messy. I don't know if I have the numbers, honestly. 6,000 versus... I mean, 65. This is 6,000. I do have more morale than they do, I think. Yeah. I'm on the fence. If this force joins and it's coherent, and they have a 10 martial leader. I only have an 8 martial leader over here. I really need this force to be able to get involved, too. I do have the numbers advantage. I just don't have all my forces together. And I can't leave this siege, because then Bostitania could stay here and siege this, but then they'd take it for themselves and never give it to me. Okay, I think what we do... What do we do? We take the fight at Toletem first. That's a sure thing. We just keep working on the siege. They're at 28%. They shouldn't burst through this super, super fast. I think it's going to be okay. Also, Baea Superioris isn't a colony. It's a pretty... So, losing Baea Superioris would honestly be okay, too. It's really Toletem, Pons Rugio, and Waluka that I really care about because they're colonies or cities. Which is to say they have a larger population. I am losing a lot of momentum right now, but these barbarians just screwed everything up, and I couldn't really account for that. So, I'm trying my best here, folks. Sorry, I'm getting so mad. This whole situation is just so frustrating because these barbarians spawned at the literal worst time possible for the situation. And they've just screwed everything up. I had to react to Mentessa in a weird way. It's okay. It's fine. We're going to clean this all up and everyone will be fine and cheer for me and it's all going to be fine. All right. Legal chicanery. In an outrageous display of brazen ineptitude, Maguna Galana challenged the ownership of a holding belonging to Bei Kianis Galbus this afternoon. With only a set of blatantly forged documents to back up her claim, the proceedings did not last long. Should we press for recompense? Oh. This is a pretty good event. for once in this episode, things are going my way. 5 stability would be great, but I'm kind of thinking about 50 gold, honestly. And we don't get it with any like loyalty loss from her either. The stability would be better, but getting the gold would at least man. I can't pass up 5 stability. I want the gold, but I gotta think about the long term here. Am I gonna arrive in 2 different times? I don't think so. Okay. 7%, let's see it. If I can get 7% too, then at least that'll be consistent. Alright, Barbs, get out of here. Skedaddle. Don't do too much damage to my army, please. I guess they did almost no damage at all. Okay. We took about 700 losses. Alright. Get out of here, Barbs. And now this force here... Yeah, 8,000... Yeah, we can't take this fight. If I win at Ad Audis, what position does that put me in? This is all the same. Okay, we're still doing that there. I think what we do with this army is actually just keep it in... Actually, no, let's have it head down to Pons Rugio to dissuade them from going there. I want them to go for Toletum first, because it's more fortified. And while we're in Pons Rugio, we'll just stay there, recover our size and our food. I may need to actually hire mercs at this point. I haven't used mercs yet in this campaign, but it might be the time. We do... Maybe I should have taken the money after all. We do have access to... Or let's see what mercs we have access to around here. So these guys are up there. Recruitable. We can't have up to 2 merc companies. I don't... Where are all the mercs around here? There's a mercenary force down here we could hire, or this one here. 8,000 is probably too much. The mercs do have to build up their morale up from 0, assuming it works the same as the base game. Let's see here. This one up here is in a pretty good spot. This would cost 100. So basically we would have 47 gold, and then we would be losing about 1 gold per month to maintain this force. 8,000 might be overkill, because I also have around 6,500 of my own forces to join with them. I just kind of need a little mercenary group to support me a little bit. Also one that brings with it a really good High Marshal mercenary commander. I guess if I'm hiring mercs, I'm not looking to have, like, because it's 100 gold for every merc group in the game, at least as far as I have ever seen. It's just the size of the merc group changes how much they cost. And I think I don't know if that cost is separate from their upkeep. I think the upkeep might also happen. Maybe that accounts for the upkeep. Yeah, actually, I think this is the maintenance for the mercs. Okay. With that in mind, ideally, the highest martial character... So 8,000, 6,000. If I'm gonna hire mercs at all, it may make sense to hire the largest group possible. Actually, you know what? Let's hire Epatikiai's mercenaries, and by doing this, we're then committing to not just turning the tide of this war. Not that we're losing, right? Because this war is kind of even at the moment. We are slightly ahead. But we're going to be committing to fully annexing all the participants, because I could take a peace deal right now, where maybe I get Mastia, maybe I get like a thing here or there. If we're going to commit to mercs, that's a full commitment to seeing this war out to its conclusion to recoup the losses of getting the mercs, if that makes sense. So I think what we're going to do is hire this force up here and put them into Waluka and have them regain their morale as fast as possible. Let's do it. Alright. Come on down to Waluka. They're also going to defend Waluka by doing that. And put you onto deception mode. Tell you all about putting the archers... Actually, no, they're already set up correctly. Look at that. And then once they arrive, put them into... where is it? Reorganization. This will be expensive. Oh, maybe I shouldn't do this. I'll have to decide between episodes if I want to reorganize them, but that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Next time, we're going to... finish this war, and I will have calmed down. Sorry about getting so mad this episode, but as you can tell, some BS has been happening to me. But it's going to be good. At the end of the day, we do have the winning strategy. We just have to kind of push our way there. And so far, haven't really lost that much manpower or anything else. And we've actually gained stability, all things considered. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.